Hi everyone, welcome to Data Appreciation with Chino, and here we'll be looking at a Google Skills Lab titled Cloud Run Functions Quick Start Console, and this is GSP081, Google's Cloud Self-Placed Labs 081. So here's the overview. A Cloud Run function is a piece of code that runs in response to an event, such as a HTTP request, a message from a messaging service, or a file upload. Cloud events are things that happen in your cloud environment. This might be things like changes to your data in database, files added to storage system, or a new virtual machine instance being created. So since cloud run functions are event driven, they only run when something happens. This makes them a good choice for tasks that need to be done quickly or that don't need to be running all the time. For example, you can use a Cloud Run function to automatically generate thumbnails for images that are uploaded to cloud storage. You can send a notification to a user's phone when a new message is received, it pops up, and you can process data from a cloud file store database and generate a report. You can write your code in any language that supports Node.js, and you can deploy your code to the cloud with a few clicks. Once your Cloud Run function is deployed, it will automatically start running in response to events. Now, this lab will show us how to create, deploy, and test a Cloud Run function using the Google Cloud Console. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to create a Cloud function run. That's a Cloud Run function. We're going to deploy and test the function, and we're going to view our logs. So it's broken down into 5 tasks, which I mentioned earlier. Create a function. Task 2 is deploy the function. Task 3 is test the function. Task 4, review logs. And finally, we'll test our understanding. The setup is going to be used by starting this lab. We'll be given a time which is 20 minutes. And once we click on the start lab, we'll sign into Google Cloud Console. Remember, we're going to use incognito window in our Chrome browser. We'll put in our username and our password once we start. So remember, this will be done on the Google Cloud Console. So let us start our lab to get our resources fired up. So next, we would use the incognito window to fire up our resources. We accept my understanding. So resources have been portioned for us. Would we have our checkpoint here, which we'll come back to automatically. So in the console, we'll go to navigation, cloud run, services, and we'll click on write a function. So let's accept this. So let's go to cloud run services. Next, we'll click on write a function. You can see it here, write a function. So click on it. So we're going to fill in our service name, our region, authentication, memory, that is in containers, network, and security. We'll keep that on default. Execution environment in containers, we'll select second generation, and revision scaling in containers and volumes. We set the maximum number of instances to 5 and then click on create. So our service name is GC function. Our region is US Central 1, which is already selected. Our authentication is allow public access. Next, our memory, we keep it at default. Execution environment, we're taking second generation. So we can see our different execution environment is on default. Our memory seems to be under resources memory. We're keeping it at default. Keep the default. Then last we have to do is revision scaling. We'll set maximum number of instances to 5. So revision scaling. So maximum number of instances, we set it to 5. Then we click on create. So you can see here the cloud API admin as cloud API admin has been enabled. Okay. You can also see here that they say helpful pop-up may appear to validate the required APIs are enabled. You click the enable button when requested. So we don't need to click that for now. So we're going to deploy the function in the next section. So in the task 2, still in the create function dialog, in the source code for inline editor, we use default hello TTP function. So let's see. You can see in the source code is hello TTP function. Okay. Then we'll click on save and deploy. So you can see it here. There's the hello TTP function. And click on save and deploy. I see it here going on. So let's check if we've completed our tasks. So while the function is being employed, the icon next to a smaller spinner, when it's deployed, the spinner is with a green check mark. So it's still deploying. Okay, so let's check. So please create and deploy the cloud function. This function as specified in the lab. So let's check this central one, allow public access, memory, keep default, Execution environment container second generation. So let's check those. Yes, this is a mistake. So execution was second generation. Let's deploy again. Let's check our progress. So we've actually corrected that and we've deployed. So next we're going to test the function. So on the function details dashboard, to test the function, we click on test here. So you can see test right here. So this is the function details dashboard. So to test it, in the triggering event field, you enter the following text between the brackets. So let's see. In the brackets, we enter the following function. Let's see. Okay. So after that, what we'll do is copy the command line test command and run it in the Cloud Shell. So copy this. Let's see where we have a problem. Okay. Okay. Let us view our logs. So in service details page, we click observability, and select logs. Observability, and you select logs. Example of log history that it is. So you can see something like this. Let's test. So our application is deployed and cover logs. So now let's test our understanding. Below are multiple choice questions to reinforce our understanding of this lab's concepts. We'll answer them to the best of our ability. So Cloud Run Functions is a serverless execution environment for event-driven services on Google Cloud. True. Which type of trigger is used while creating Cloud Run Functions in the lab? What type of trigger is used? Let's look at triggers. Okay, let's see. I see pop sub, cloud storage trigger, Firestone trigger, and event app trigger. So remember introduction where we read introduction right here. Remember we have a new message in pop sub. So let's see the options that are here. We have pop sub Firebase HTTPS cloud storage. There's Firestone. So we have it as pop sub. So it's not pop sub in the lab. Let's go back again and check what triggers were used here. Okay, since we know the triggers are either pub sub, cloud storage, Firestone, and event. So we have cloud storage here. Oh, Firestone, event, and whatever triggers is working in this lab. Let's have a look at let's have a look at the overview. Let's see if we have triggers empty. We have endpoint detailed HTTPS endpoint URL like that. So we have the HTTPS. So that's a new one for me for the trigger. And Thank you and see you in the next video.